A devastating explosion and fire ravaged the $1.5 million beachfront home of South Carolina Circuit Court Judge Diane Goodstein this past Saturday, October 4th, forcing her family to jump from windows to escape and sparking suspicions of arson amid recent death threats tied to her controversial ruling against the Trump administration. So I'm Joseph Morris, and don't forget to like and subscribe. The Inferno struck around 11:30 a.m. at the three-story, 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom property in the exclusive Jeremy K gated community on Edisto Beach. Thick plumes of black smoke filled the sky as flames quickly consumed the entire structure. South Carolina Chief Justice John Kittredge described the start of the blaze as an apparent explosion, adding a layer of mystery to the chaotic scene. But thankfully, 69-year-old Diane wasn't home. She was out walking her dogs on the beach, unaware until the nightmare unfolded. Inside, her 81-year-old husband, former Democratic State Senator Arnold Goodstein, was with family members, possibly including children or grandchildren. In a desperate bid for survival, Arnold helped others escape before leaping from a first-floor window or balcony himself. The fall left him with multiple broken bones in his hips, legs, and feet, the most severe injuries of the group. He was airlifted to the Medical University of South Carolina for urgent care. Their 50-year-old son, Arnold Goodstein II, was also hospitalized, along with one other unidentified family member transported by ground. Their conditions remain unclear, but the quick actions of first responders likely saved their lives. The rescue was dramatic and unconventional. The victims ended up in a marshy, remote area behind the home, accessible only by water in some spots. Neighbors, including local residents Tom Peterson, rushed to help, pulling them to safety alongside paramedics. Emergency crews from the St. Paul's Fire District even used kayaks to reach them through the challenging terrain, according to Captain K.C. Campbell with Colton County Fire Rescue. Now let's rewind to early September 2025 to understand the darker context. On September 2nd, Diane issued a temporary restraining order blocking South Carolina's Election Commission from handing over sensitive voter registration data for over 3.3 million residents to the Trump administration's Department of Justice. The data included names, addresses, birth dates, driver's license numbers, and the last 4 digits of social security numbers, sought under an executive order to check for alleged non-citizen voting. Her ruling put her at odds with President Trump, his team, and South Carolina's Republican Governor Henry McMaster, who filed an emergency appeal on September 5th. By September 11th, the state Supreme Court overturned her decision, allowing the handover to proceed. But the backlash was intense. Sources say Diane received multiple death threats in the weeks following her rulings, fueling fears that this fire might not be accidental. While no confirmed link to any political group exists, the timing, just a month after her decision, has sparked speculation. Now here's a chilling detail. Administration officials, including Assistant Attorney General Harmit Dillon and Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, publicly criticized judges like her, with Stephen calling them radical left lunatics and accusing them of legal insurrection. This rhetoric has been blamed for escalating threats against the judiciary, including doxing. Shifting to the political fallout, Democratic Congressman Daniel Goldman didn't hold back. Writing on X, he said, quote, "Trump, Stephen Miller, and MAGA world have been doxing and threatening judges who rule against Trump, including Judge Goodstein. Today, someone committed arson on the judge's home, severely injuring her husband and son. Will Trump speak out against the extreme right that did this?" End quote. Stephen fired back, calling Daniel's suggestion deeply warped and vile. But Daniel doubled down, noting Stephen failed to directly address the accusations of doxing and threats. Similar sentiments echoed across X, who users like Maine pointing out right-wing influencers spreading old bankruptcy rumors about the Goodsteins just days before the fire. Others like Sherry Jacobus tied it to Stephen's calls for dismantling left-wing terror networks, questioning if this was a warning shot. So what do you guys think? Could this fire be tied to political violence, or is it just a tragic coincidence? Drop your thoughts in the comments. As for the investigation, the South Carolina State Law Enforcement Division, or SLED, is leading the probe into what caused the explosion and fire. Agency spokesperson Renee Wuderlich confirmed it's active, with no details yet on whether it's officially arson. Meanwhile, Chief Justice Kittredge noted that local law enforcement has ramped up patrols and security around judicial figures as a precaution, with the judicial branch staying in close contact with SLED. So today, just 2 days after the blaze, Diane spoke briefly to the Daily Mail, sounding surprisingly cheerful despite the ordeal. She said, "I'm all right," and offered to direct further questions to a court administrator, keeping things professional amid such personal loss. So in my opinion, this incident is a stark warning about how heated political rhetoric can spill into real world harm. But we need to hold off on pointing fingers. And political figures are using this to continue their liberal assault on Americans. It's ridiculous to insinuate it has anything to do with Trump. This judge probably had plenty of enemies from her long career on the bench. In my opinion, this could have just been a gas explosion, and I wouldn't jump to arson until investigators have solid evidence. Diane's ruling stirred up tensions around voter privacy and election integrity, issues that shouldn't lead to threats or violence. If the fire is proven to be arson linked to her decision, it shows how vilifying judges erodes trust in our institutions and endanger lives. Even without a direct connection, it's a call for everyone to dial back the attacks and focus on debate, not destruction. These events hit families hard, and we need better protections to keep things from escalating in this divided climate. So if you enjoyed this breakdown of the Edisto Beach fire and its potential political ties, please hit like and subscribe and leave a comment, because I try to read every single one. Bye, guys.